you allow poor performance or slack behaviour to go on unnoticed in your business for too long? I get a lot of business owners who come to me with that very problem, asking me to sort out the mess and go through a disciplinary process or a dismissal process with an employee who's been slack for a very long time. And I know that that's going to be a tricky disciplinary process for me because that poor behaviour has been allowed to go on for a period of time unchecked. So every business owner must make sure that when they bring employees into their business, they set standards and boundaries for those employees at a very, very early stage in order to make any disciplinary process or eventual dismissal process as easy as possible for you. Now, I liken employees a lot to teenagers, and if you're a parent of a teenager, you'll know that if you don't set boundaries and standards for teenagers, they simply run riot. They'll stay out all night drinking and they won't come home until the early hours of the morning, and then it becomes very, very difficult to try and enforce good discipline on them at a later stage. It's exactly the same with your employees. If you've got employees in your business, you must set those boundaries and standards at an early stage, so if you do need to go through a disciplinary process or a poor performance process, or even go through to dismissal, that process is made much easier because you've had those boundaries and standards in place from an early stage. And that's the subject of the first article in this month's newsletter, so I'd encourage every business owner to read that article so you understand the difference between boundaries and standards and you know exactly how to set them right from the get-go. The other thing which I'm touching upon in this month's newsletter is employees who come to us asking for parental leave. Now, that's obviously a great thing for the employee because they're going to have a new addition to their family, but of course it's a bit of a nightmare for us business owners because all of a sudden we know that we've got to keep that job open for that employee and we've got to cover their absence whilst they're on parental leave. So how do we do that? Well, fortunately, help is at hand with a new service which is being launched by a boutique HR company, The People Group. Okay, what they will do, not only will they advise you on your obligations to that employee, but they will source a temporary employee for you for the duration of that parental leave. They will act as the point of contact between you and your employee during the parental leave, and then they will help transition your employee back into the business after the parental leave has finished. So if you've got an employee who's asked for parental leave or is about to ask for parental leave, then I really do encourage you to have a look at this service. Just contact the People Group using the email in the newsletter or in the box below. Now, the other important thing with employees, of course, is to get the right employees in your business from the very beginning. But if you put an advertisement out there at the moment, you're probably going to get flooded with job applicants, and you certainly don't want to bring every job applicant in for an interview because it's going to be a waste of your time and your money. So somehow or another, you've got to be able to sort the wheat from the chaff. And how do you exactly do that? Well, you need a technique and you need a strategy. And one technique which you can use is telephone screening. Now, we're very fortunate this month to have an article donated to us by Tanya Howard of Talent Seed Recruitment, and it's all about tips and tricks for going through that telephone screening process. So if you're looking at recruiting for a role in the foreseeable future, then I strongly recommend that you read that article and you upskill yourself on how to go about telephone screening, because it will save you a lot of time in terms of putting the right candidates in for that job interview. So I really do hope that you enjoy this month's newsletter. Apologies that we've been off air for a couple of months. Normal service is now resuming for you, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the month, and I hope your businesses are going really well. That's Michael Smythe from ApproachableLawyer.com. Thank you.